Hey, Selma. Selma is number one. Welcome, my friend. I hope you are well. This is Sunday
It's
evening.
not just that disease starts in.
I guess Sunday evening. Hey, Lee. I got a friend I haven't seen for a while. Project Burpees just came up. Wish I could drop links because links just come back because I'm on a desktop. Hey, Marlon. Hey, Dan. Dan, how you doing? We doing burpees, Yogi? I'm doing my best to limit myself to 100 burpees on special occasions with special people. Dan, you are certainly a special person, and doing burpees with you would be a special occasion. Um, if you need an in between session, like a cool down session, 100 reps. Jace said you were called out. Jace, you believe Jace? Dan, you believe Jace? If I was going to call someone out, you think I'd call out a legendary beast? If I was going to call someone out, they'd be like 96 years old. Dan says he's an easy mark. Hey, Big Al. I'm going to type his name in a minute. I think you'll like what he does. If you guys like slack lines, hey, Dan, you ever done a slack line? If you guys ever want a good core workout, so I'm going to type his name in, but I can't drop a link. I apologize. That's his channel name. He's been around for a while. Hasn't posted much in the last, really, I guess, over a year. Hey, Kat. Kat, I didn't see you sneak in. Kat, how are you? Hey, Kat. I have questions. When do you go back to work? If it says nudge, nudge. Who are we nudging? Only two likes. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Sniper. Yeah, I did a slack line once and my abs were sore for like 2 weeks afterwards. Kat says hi to Dan, and Marlon says hi to Kat. So I always love this. This I can post. I always love this quote from A Course in Miracles. Of course. Now this is, remember, Jesus is the narrator of A Course in Miracles. So just got a comment from Willow. She won't make it. Her little pup isn't doing great. Not in any dangerous position, but just not doing great. And so she won't be able to make it. She wanted to let me know and said if I wanted to, I could mention it to you guys. And of course, I do want to mention it to you guys. Kat says I go back to work Thursday, but I'm ready to go home now. Um, are you going to? So, yeah, the narrative, of course, is you don't have to believe it, but the one who took it down, Holland Suchman said it was the voice of Jesus. Doesn't matter if it was, if it wasn't. If you want to be like me, I will help you, knowing that we are alike. If you want to be different, I will wait until you change your mind. I love that. He says, I like that, Yogi. Me too. You know what? Imagine though, you have the voice of Jesus saying, if you want to be like him, knowing that you're alike, what a bold claim. Lee, you were just told that you are like Jesus. Can you accept that? Can you accept that even just a little bit? Dan says, one hardest routine done lately, just sledges on tire. Oh, yeah, for sure. Getting the weight. Are you alternating arms? Getting the weight all the way up, coming down with full force every rep. Hey, you ever done a Tabata workout on the tire with a sledge? Hey, Rebecca. Sorry. Here, Deputy Rebecca, but over at Jace's, Sheriff Rebecca. Let's see. One says you're ready to go home. I am ready in part to leave it. Hey, bud. Bud, how are you? Everyone is saying hi. So, what do you think, Lee? Is there even uh, a slightest, slimmest part of you that could accept those words? Hey, Jace. Jace says greetings. Hiya, sheriffs. And the pot is being stirred. Let's see. Dan says, Jace still up, buddy. Big, Big Al says he's claiming his territory. I'm the only sheriff around these parts. I think he should have thrown in a partner. William says, so the point, if you're lurking already, could be. You never know with Eric LaPointe. Although it is a holiday weekend. He says, yes, there is, Yogi. I think the words are very unselfish too, and patient. Patient is the key. I will wait. That's the part that I love. All right, we got trouble coming up, guys. Rootin' tootin' varmin, says William. Well spoken, William. Spoken like a true cowboy. You there, Big Al?
Good evening.
I suppose you have something to say?
I let you do your speaking before I butt in. I don't want to come in and interrupt.
No, we're just reading comments. You sounded a little upset in the chat, and we got some darn vermin comments a flying. You're sounding like maybe your toes have been stepped on in your pointy-toed cowboy boots with the spurs, the fancy
Nothing
spurs.
upsets the sheriff.
So Rebecca was promoted, but not here. She was promoted on Jace's channel to a sheriff. I thought you should hear it from me before anyone else.
Indeed, I don't mind. I'm the sheriff here. I know I'm the sheriff. I'm the big boss around this part. You hear me, partner?
I got you. Loud and clear. And that was excellent cowboy talk, too.
Ain't nobody taking my job here.
How's the new place?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm really enjoying it here. Yeah, it's starting to feel more homely as well. Like, as I've said before, where I was, I weren't allowed to put decorations up. Like, I weren't allowed to put pictures on the walls because they were really fussy about holes and stuff like that. even if I said I would fill the holes in and stuff, they didn't appreciate it. So I can actually do that stuff here. I haven't done yet because I don't have a lot. I'm getting the more important stuff. You know, I put the curtains up today. But no, I'm really enjoying it so far overall. There's a few things that I found that I did prefer at the old place. But they're very small things. They're nothing that's going to make me change my mind about here. Obviously, they're all really small things in comparison to the big problems I had where I was. You know, like neighbours, for example, were a problem there. But here, the neighbours seem decent. The building overall is much better, whereas where I was, it was quite small,
Right.
and which you expect. But
Hey, Lee
yeah, there
wants
was a
to
lot
know.
of big problems with that. Whereas, like I say, here there's the small problems. Like one of the main issues for me, and this is going to round it's very tedious, I admit. But one of the main issues I found is that when I boiled the kettle, I obviously I like to save on water and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an ecomaniac or anything like that, and I apologize to anyone who takes the environment very seriously and stuff. I do take the environment seriously, but anyway, my point is, I live on my own, so obviously I fill the kettle enough for me to have one drink. But then what I like to do is then fill it again, just enough so there's enough water for one drink. So my little problem, my tedious problem that I've picked up on so far is that I burn my fingers because in the old place the taps were like they had the long like tap, if that makes sense.
Does
And then you had like the handle was out of the way. Whereas these taps, I'll show you very quickly. You'll probably get what I mean anyway. But these taps are obviously quite narrow. So before I had the like the long tap that came out to about here, and obviously the handle was over there. When I fill the kettle with this, the steam, because I've just boiled the kettle, the steam comes up and burns my fingers.
right.
And that's my one little problem I found at the minute is, yeah, the other taps are a bit safer, I'll say. Not that
You're
it's a problem.
probably
Like I say, I'm being very tedious, and I'll admit that myself. I'm being tedious because I don't like the tap. But it's very small things that don't really matter. In a couple of weeks, I'll have already picked up on it and forgotten about it, and it
That's
won't
what I was
matter.
going to say. That I'm sure that you'll figure out. Two questions. Hey, Shirley. Lee wants to know how the assembly of the bed is going.
How the
And
what? Sorry,
assembly of your bed.
I'm not getting the frame until like tomorrow or Tuesday.
Okay. And Jace says, Big Al, if he managed
I'm
to
not
get
urinating, by the way.
the, sure, that's what they all say. Jace said, Big Al, if he managed to get the basket sorted out on the bike and the pink hat, we can talk.
It'll be. I just put my phone in some water by mistake. It'll be a bit. Sorry, go on.
Sniper says, Jace, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Just need the basket for flowers now.
It'll be a bit of time before I get anything. I'm trying to save up. Well, not save up. I'm waiting for payday. But on payday, I need to get a bin. Because at the minute I'm just using a bin bag on the floor. But I need to get a bin. I'm waiting for the cooker to arrive. Washing machine arrives tomorrow. I've got the fridge and the freezer plugged in and set up where I want them. So yeah, it'll be a bit of time before I get anything, even remotely, on a joking level. For now,
Right.
I do need to get a bin and stuff to, finish off my home. And I really want this bed frame because I'm already fed up of sleeping on a mattress on the floor. I thought
can
those
see that.
days were over.
I did that for a long time too. I want to give a big welcome and shout out to Shirley. Shirley says you can be sheriff, but she is the queen. Never forget, she is the
That
queen.
sounds like a fair deal to me.
And Marlon Dundee at the gym said that now we know why Al never has a camera on himself. I think that's a because you were peeing comment.
Because what, Yogi?
What's that?
I never have the camera on because I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I think because he suspects that you were actually peeing.
Oh no, I was pouring water from the kettle.
So you're able to make some tea now. That's a big thing. You there?
I'm still here. Yep. Sorry, I'm just fiddling
okay.
with stuff.
Rebecca says Yogi remains the priest. I'm not sure how I got to be the priest. I don't
Well, there
mind.
was the whole mix-up. And I kind of admit that I was wrong. After going back and reviewing it, I did hear priest or father, but I think Cat rectified the problem. I'd heard you say priest, or no, I heard you say father, and I thought you meant father as in like priest or vicar. Cat cleared it up. Cat got it spot on. Cat, I got it mixed up. Cat cleared it up, and I apologize for assuming you meant like priest father.
But now I'm
Because
stuck.
you did say founding father, so I do apologize for that.
Okay, as long as we got that cleared up, as long as we can let that. I'd stick with the founding father. I like that. Let's see. Dundee says that's what they all say, Big Al. Rebecca says peas have been haunting me all day thanks to Jace. He even bought peas to his live stream when we were doing burpees. William says Eric is a soul surfer.
I'm sorry that I have missed everyone's lives today. I haven't been in Cat's live. I haven't made it to any of yours. I didn't make it to Jace's. In fact, I do apologize, and I'm going to be completely honest. And I think honesty is the best policy. So it's rather than making up some excuse, I will be completely honest. I almost didn't come to your live stream, Yogi, because I was busy. Well, my phone made a noise in my pocket. I checked it, and it was you. And I was like, right, I'll go in there. I'll leave a like, and well, I decided to stay.
You wouldn't have been able to sleep if you didn't stop in. It would have bothered you all night. You'd been like, man, I really miss Yogi.
It really would, Yogi. It actually really would. I'm not even joking. It's not a joke. I genuinely would. This has become sort of my routine. This is my thing that I now do with you. I come in here for a chat. Usually the chat lasts for a long time, and I apologize. But I come in here for a chat, and then I go to bed. And that is my routine now. I do whatever I'm doing. Yogi goes live. I jump in here for the quick chat, and then it's bedtime for me straight after. So that is my routine. So there's no joke about it. I genuinely probably would have struggled to settle down and relax because I would have regretted not coming in and spending this time with you before bed.
I appreciate hearing that, Big Al. You know what? I struggle a bit with the nature of my live streams. That I've had several people say that sometimes because people bring some heavier subjects that it can be triggering, and I can understand that. But what do? If someone has a heavier subject to talk about, we talk about the heavier subject. But so I do want it to be a welcoming place, but I can't ever promise it to be a place that's not going to trigger some people. So I understand if people want to skip those. But for the most part, especially later in the day, when we're settling in, I like to laugh and have it be an atmosphere where people feel they're ready to settle down for the night. You know what I mean? They raise their not their cortisol. They raise their happiness quota. Let's put it that way, just a little bit, and they're ready to go to sleep with a smile on their face. And you help make that so, Big Al.
I'll apologize to anyone that I've ever triggered. I've just naturally said what's come to me. So I do apologise if I've ever said anything that's upset anyone or triggered anyone. I haven't. No, I haven't done it on purpose. I haven't meant to do it.
I'm not sure that you
Last
have.
night, Lee was having a bad time. Yogi, you said, you know, about what I've been through, and maybe I can help. And I said, from my point of view, and it helped Lee. But again, I didn't think about other people when I spoke, so I do apologise to anyone that I've ever triggered.
Right. I don't think you have, because you're pretty. Now, here's something that Lucy said. We can put in a trigger warning. Is that like something that we can actually do? Because I do like that thought, but we never know what's going to trigger anyone. But Big Al, you usually come in if you're going to talk about something or something comes up. You sort of put in a preemptive trigger warning. You know what I mean? You're very mindful of if you're going to hurt someone.
Yeah. I do try not to talk about things all the time, because I know that it's what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of my my chats like previously, not really recently, I'll admit, but my previous conversations with you had been a bit heavy. So I understand if they have triggered people.
But you know,
But really recently, I haven't really spoken about that, apart from last night when obviously Lee was having a bit of a bad time. So yeah.
but that's the purpose of the channel is for us to, hey Jacob, to work through stuff together. I let people know I'm not a therapist in any way. I'm a friend. And sometimes, in lieu of a therapist, uh, sometimes a friend is all you have. So I never want to do my best, but sometimes we get some really really heavy things. I'm always happy to talk addiction and be a guide for anyone because of my experience. Um, I have been through traumatic experiences with losing people, um, through violence, through their own hands. I don't mind talking about that, but if someone is suggesting that they have those tendencies, that's such a thorny issue. You don't want to turn your back on them. You want to be a presence, but they need to reach out to a professional, not to a yogi, especially not just a yogi.
You
But
see,
I'm more than happy.
this is why I give my opinions and I share my experiences, but I never give advice because I'm not qualified. I'm not trained in any way or qualified to give advice from a professional point of view. So I share my experiences and talk about my own struggles in the hopes that that will help people rather than giving advice, because I I wouldn't like to give advice and something go wrong. I mean, there's not a lot of things that can go wrong if you just tell someone to breathe through a problem. But for example, if I gave advice and something went wrong and that person came to harm, I would then feel bad. And it's just, I want to put myself and anyone else through that. So I just, like I say, I just speak through my experiences and my struggles in the hopes that that will give someone something to relate to and help them that way.
Um, I agree with all that. Um, I'm always hesitant to give like advice, um, because it comes with such a heavy responsibility. What if you're wrong? And I always try to approach my life with the what if I'm wrong. I want to have that little bit of uncertainty because it allows me to be a little more empathetic. Um, that it doesn't have to be the way I think. It doesn't have to be what I say. It could be any number of things. So I try to be open with that. And when you give advice, it sounds like do this. Now, of course, it does. I do give a little advice for like helping people sleep, breath work, but I don't want it to sound like it's a cure all. Basically, I say, try this, see if it works. And if it doesn't, let's try something else. Um, and of course, that's harder to do when someone is in a life-threatening situation. But
Yeah.
Squirrel's been here a long time. As says William, they've seen us work through some pretty serious issues with people just by listening, just by being friends, and people have been able to um, start working on their path of sobriety, start working with therapists, and have come in and left comments saying that their life has been turned around not because of me, because of the people in the live stream, because of the chats. Everyone, they're just surprised that we've created, and Big Al, you're a big part of this, and Lucy and William and Kat and Lee, all of you guys, don't want to leave anyone out. All of you are a big part of this because you're part of a loving environment. When someone comes in with trouble, every single one of you turn towards that person and not away. And man, what a huge thing. Have you ever, Big Al, I know you have. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt wherever you turned, someone would turn away from you and you were completely alone?
I have quite recently, and I say quite recently, I don't mean days, but I mean weeks. I went to therapy and said that I didn't know who to talk to. Exactly what you've just said, but I didn't know who to talk to because I didn't feel like I'd be listened to or taken seriously.
Um, so imagine how happy someone is who stumbles in a room and they get a huge welcome from a guy named Big Al who says, "Howdy, partner. Welcome, welcome in. I'm the sheriff of the town." Um, or, a big welcome from uh, Shirley and Cat Jack saying, "Welcome in. We love you." For someone who was in your position that you were saying, that could be so huge just to feel welcome. And I think maybe the world is not that bad of a place after all. So, man, if I could change the title of my uh, YouTube channel, maybe it would be uh, just a little kinder place or something like that. Because that's all I want is just a little kinder place that can make a
No,
little bit
I
of a
get you
difference.
completely, Yogi. I really do.
And
It
and again,
all makes sense.
you might be tired of hearing this, Big Al, but you make it a little kinder place. Marlon makes it a little kinder place. Coffee Cake Love and Bish, who just puts a smile on my face every time I say her name. You make it a little kinder place. Um, so seriously, from the bottom of my heart to all of you guys, thank you because you're making my wish, you're making my dream come true.
Well, I appreciate it, Yogi. I'll never get bored of hearing you talk about anything. And the compliments, the only thing that bothers me about compliments is I don't take compliments very well. I don't I don't know what it is. I don't like hearing nice things about myself. I struggle to I don't as I've said, I don't have a very positive outlook of myself. So I don't like it when people compliment me. It's something that I just struggle with. I kind of it's almost like the same kind of sensation as blushing. When you compliment me, I feel all shy and nervous, and I don't like it. It almost makes me cringe. But at the same time, it is nice to hear the things you like about me. You know, bringing kindness and happiness to the chat. It's nice to hear that, but at the same time, I also don't like it for a personal, like because I just don't like hearing nice things about myself.
Same. I have a very self-deprecating sense of humor, where um, I have a tendency, and this comes from being picked on quite a bit when I was younger, um, bullied even by teachers. That if I could make someone laugh before they laughed at me, I was ahead. I was ahead of the game. Um, I want to give a big shout out, by the way, to my brother in kindness, Jace, um, who him and I we're a team in kindness. If you ever sit into any of his live stream, the perfect closing message that he offers each and every time. Um, definitely. I couldn't be doing this without him. Also, I want to give a shout out to Cat and Jack for two things. She's the one who actually called me out on my deprecating sense of humor once on a live stream. Told me to be a little more mindful of what I say about myself. That if I'm going to be kind to other people, I should probably think about having kind thoughts towards myself. And she was very right. And the other part of that shout out is that she really helps me stay on message with my talks for A Course in Miracles. And I don't ever expect anyone else to like be a student of A Course in Miracles, but I do like the fact that by presenting its teachings, it allows me to talk about kindness and forgiveness, which is universal. You know what I mean? You don't need a religion or a philosophy to be kind and to be forgiving. You just need to be open.
Yeah, but Yogi, just interrupting you very quickly before you go too far away from what I need to say. You and Jace aren't just brothers in kindness, though. You've got to be brothers by blood. You guys are surely long lost twins. You've got to be.
Well, remember, I'm almost 10 years older than Jace. So that would be a long, long, painfully slow birth of twins.
Yeah, I don't believe that it's 10 years. I believe it's more like 10 minutes.
You think so? Hey, Rosie.
And I'm not saying Jace looks old. I'm saying you look young. So before anyone jumps in there and tries to say that I'm being ageist.
I appreciate that. We say hi to our good friend Brian Lane. Hey, Brian. You subscribe to Brian Lane?
I am. Yep.
Awesome.
I want to ask quickly: Is Lilo Sebastian? Has he changed his name, or am I imagining?
You are not.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to be sure.
And remember, there's two Sebastians here.
I'm subscribed to both.
Good.
The other Sebastian with the the one that's still called Sebastian is the one I subscribed to most recently.
Right. Jay says he got the looks and the arms. I got the hair. Sorry, guys. Hold on. My cat's claw was literally stuck in my leg, and she was trying to get it out, which just made it sink in deeper into my leg. But because I'm trying to impress people in the chat, you didn't hear me go. You didn't hear me make a high pitched "ouch, ouchie" sound when the claw sunk into my leg. Let's see. Marlon, Dundee doesn't think Jason and I look alike at all. I've been told that I look like every single bald guy ever. Name a bald guy in movies, a bald guy, famous bald guy, and someone says, "Hey, you look just like," and they name a bald guy.
You keep. I don't know. I may be lost. I don't know. But you keep saying Marlon. I can't see anyone in the chat with that name. What?
Oh, that is Dundee, who is also MK.
Right.
Dundee
Okay.
in the gym. But he says he would like to be called Marlon.
Right. Okay. I didn't know that. I apologize.
Yep. William says Marlon. Hey, William, what type of herbal supplement are you thinking? She is back with her claw in my leg and meowing at me like. I just feel bad because it gets stuck. Skid says, "Good night, Yogi Big Al." Cat, good night, Skid. Say thanks for coming in. Marlon says, "Damn, your cat is feral." She just wants attention. Marlon says, "You look like just like The Rock." RoboCop with the beard. Oh, thank you, William. I already took it. Appreciate that. Oh, you're right. Shirley wants to see the cat. Say hi. Can you see him, guys? Her, I'm sorry. Were you able to see her? Rebecca says you look like Rebecca or Vin Diesel.
I saw the cat. Yep.
Good. Rebecca says cute cat. That's the black cat, or it might be the other black cat. As that's their names interchangeably. They did come with.
Fair enough.
They did come with. I adopted them when they were 10. They did come with names, but I quickly forgot it. So it became Black Cat and then the other Black Cat. Or sometimes the upstairs Black Cat, which is obviously that one, and the downstairs Black Cat. The upstairs Black Cat meditates with me. She will, as soon as I settle in, when I sit to meditate, she'll pace around a bit as my breath softens and deepens and then quiets. She finds a spot right next to me and then just sits. And I hear her breath slowing down, and we just sync up. And my downstairs cat does yoga with me. She's also the sunbeam cat, as she'll track the sunbeam across the living room floor as it travels, as the sun rises and sets. So you
Yep.
see her. It's really fun to watch. Hey, Debs.
Downward cat. Right, Yogi. I've been up for almost half an hour. So I'm going to let someone else come up now, and I'm going to jump into the chat.
I appreciate it.
Got some things to get ready for tomorrow, so I'll be doing that while I'm here. But I will still be chatting. And as always, it's been wonderful to be up here. I appreciate the opportunity to come up. Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year, Big Al.
Thank you. And yeah, it's pleasure being the sheriff for you. I'll see you in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Big Al. William says the name of our outdoor indoor stray neighbor cat is literally called Kitty McKitterson. I like that. Debs, how are you? William says Eric the Buff, Mr. Planner's peacock mascot. You said that quite a few times in the past. I can accept that, William. I can work with that. Thank you, Jacob. Rebecca says Merry Christmas. Maybe I do need a promotion to sheriff here. You going to bed, Jace?
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Kitty New Year.
Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Merry Christmas.
Wait a second here.
Thought why not bring some lightheartedness to the stream?
Sure. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Waiting to see if Jace wants to hop up and say goodnight too.
Yeah. I just wanted to sing the song real quick, so
I appreciate it.
I'll break it
Always.
down.
Always appreciate the appearances.
Yeah. We still have 4 more days or 5 more days for the Merry Christmas for the whole month of May left.
That's true. What's going to come for June?
We'll see.
We'll have to start figuring it out now.
We need a new June tune.
One thing I know for sure, Marlon, is that you are ever and infinitely creative and inspired. You'll definitely have something for us in June.
I don't know. I think I'm better at repeating songs and maybe adding some little parts here and there. But I'm sure together we'll come up with something.
We will. Thank you, Marlon.
And yeah. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Lucy. Jason. Good night and Nama with my friends.
Nama Weir. Jay says, that smile, Marlon. Thanks, bro. I smile too. Smiles are certainly contagious, aren't they? Boy says, thank you, Jacob. How are your hours? I don't know where Jacob actually stands in hours. I know he needs hours. Where it says, who wouldn't want to be a buff owner of a nut empire? It's an excellent point, William. Excellent point. Big Al says, meditating horse. Namane. I like that. Namane. Namane. I'm trying to think of something for a cat. Namapur. Namapur. Hey, Jace.
Good evening, brother.
You made Shirley very.
Been a long, long day.
I bet. And you got tomorrow off, though.
Okay, Jacob, I'll get you running this evening. 275 hours.
Oh, wow.
Push
That's
is,
not bad.
the push is real. Obviously,
Yep.
Jacob's been a massive part of the community. He's turned into one of the main rocks that supports everybody. If you need likes, Jacob's your boy. And he's, as I say, he really is just such a great, humble guy. It's quite late. It's very late. I've done a couple of great workouts with some great people. I'm part of an awesome community. I can see my little sheriff there waving at me. Big Al, I know you're the sheriff here. Got to respect that, you know what I mean? When a badge is worn, a badge is born. It's quite late. So, I think that time's come.
Four.
Ba-da-ba-da-dum. Eric, my friend, that time has come. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Eric, my friend, that time has come. I really love you. You, I must say. Good night, sweethearts. Good night. I was going to sing the proper lyrics, and I thought, yeah, I've got to change that quickly. And I sort of like paused slightly. Okay, Atomic. Nice one. Thank you ever so much. Yeah, clears the throat. It's just a case of mainly relaxing if you want to sing. I think Marlon has got the potential to have an amazing voice because of his depth of his voice. If you can learn to really relax, it'll really come out nice and smooth, but with an awesome tone. It'll be unique.
Any tips?
Yes, just relax. Maybe a warm drink, and then all of a sudden, just try and get a few notes out. And it's crazy how the more you relax, you certainly hit a point where Squirrel will tell you the vibrations, they just take over. That's how you learn to find the different keys. Hiya, Debs. Hope that weather over there doesn't get too bad. I've spent a little bit of time watching the weather in the States. It's crazy. You just get whole towns and whole places just getting taken away by wind and rain. As we know, it's
I had a tornado in my backyard last year. Uprooted trees that I grew up with that were here forever. Huge trees, and just in a blink, they were gone.
Just to give her another little stroke. And did you get them the tuna yet?
I did. Well, I got them salmon and gravy and tuna and gravy, which they love.
Awesome stuff. Did you do a short?
I haven't, but I'm going to because Shirley has made a request. I'll do that. I'll try to remember that tomorrow morning when I feed him. You've got
nature at home. There's clips that we could have been seeing for a long time. Chasing the shadows.
True.
Natural things that are just awesome.
You guys got to see them dance, especially the upstairs one, the black cat, or the other black cat.
Long John,
she'll literally dance when I'm bringing the food up. She'll, like a dog, she'll get up on her hind feet and crawl around waiting. She's just, some
That's,
animals are very, very food centered more than others.
that's
And
what
this
you call
cat is.
happiness.
Hey, Long John.
I think they call that love and happiness.
I'm just happy I was able to give them a home. They were 10 years old. They were in a shelter. People were afraid that they might be separated, the person at the shelter. Because one, it's hard enough to get a 10-year-old cat at home, let alone two 10-year-old cats who are bonded sisters. And some people don't like black cats. So when I heard that they might be separated, I was like,
Ed, no energy left, empty batteries. But look at the position. That tells you it's late in the evening. Can we just do one quick hand check before we go?
Yep.
5 minutes 13. I like the way you're doing this thing now to make it try and make it look bigger. You'll be doing that too.
what do you mean try? That's the actual size of my hand right there.
Watch. Man, you look after your fingernails as well. Awesome stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Apologies for the extra 35 seconds.
My
Obviously,
pleasure.
it's the last stream of the evening. That's it. Fresh week tomorrow. Let's go.
Hey, enjoy your day off tomorrow.
I certainly will. I'll probably do 2 workouts. I'm hoping to get one in the morning and then one in the evening. So
Nice.
that'll be just a normal body workout and then a weight workout in the evening. It's certainly making a difference.
I can
And
tell.
the motivation from Dan, big salute to Dan. He's certainly he's introduced me to the weights in a nice, gentle, controlled way, which is what I try and do to everybody else. So big love, big respect to him, brother. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Much love to everybody. Be safe, be kind, be caring, and try and smile. Peace out. Peace
too.
out.
Thank you, Jace. Rose says, we'll definitely make a prayer for your safety, Debonair. When I was a kid, we used to get tornado warnings, but we never took them seriously because I don't remember a single time a tornado ever hit. Now they'll land in my area 2-3 times a year, if not more. Rose says, maybe a sign I shouldn't go there. Yeah, I don't think there's any place, though, that is really tornado proof anymore in the U.S. Let's see. Something says 98 was a special year. Let's see. 99 was a little better year for me. I quit drinking in 99. Or I should say drinking left me in 99. Deb says almost slipped in mud. It's not normal here, William. Hey, Anna. Thanks for coming in, Anna. William says, I'll definitely make a prayer for your safety, Deb and Eric. You as well, William. Deb says almost caught mom being trying for 2 years. Professional coming, spray and release her back in the backyard. Oh, you caught 3 kittens before storm. Nice. I'm glad. So they're cute and going to cat sanctuary in 2 weeks. I will post pics. Looking forward to it, Debs. Long John says, use Jace. It'd be a whole different look. Jace has good size very lean, but he doesn't have that the puffiness that you get when you're using that. And Jay says all natural. 12 months of hard work, consistent hard work, and big, big, big reps. Smart reps, though. Deb says we got microbursts of 70 miles per hour winds that will take trees. Thanks for the prayers. You going to bed, Big Al? Take care. Thanks for coming up. Always appreciate it, Big Al. Deb says New Jersey had a tornado, not normal. No, it isn't. There was one in Baltimore City just last week. My friend, he lives in York, Pennsylvania, lost his barn. Sniper says, I seek not the answers, but the dissolution of questions, to merge with a knowing that predates all thoughts. I like that. Rebecca says, good night to Big Al. Thank you, Jacob. Hey, Jacob, you got a lot of people who are going to push you through those last 275 hours. Was it 275 or was it 250? Either way, we got you covered. Silent, let's see. Sniper says, through the silent communion of my higher self, may I become a conduit for the ineffable. One of my favorite words. So it is, and so shall it be. Sniper's prayer. Beautiful. Beautiful. Jay says, I'm 51 and only ever seen 3 tornadoes, 2 UK and 1 in Spain. Yeah, they don't happen often in the UK, do they? Although you guys have had some crazy winters lately. And quite a few heat waves. And unfortunately for you guys, he was talking about this today. I forget what channel. So few houses. Was it on Jason's channel? I don't remember. So few houses in the UK, or even most of Europe, have air conditioning. Shirley says, Jason, earthquakes. We have occasional ones here. Zeppa says saw a flash flood in Sydney in '91. Yeah, the town that I used to work in has virtually been wiped out twice in the last 7 years by flash floods. You might have seen it, those in the States, you might have seen it in the news, Ellicott City, the Patapsco River. Shirley says, have you been in any? We felt them, but never any damage here. Every couple of years, we'll feel one here. Jay says, surely only 2 of those in the UK. Small shakes for a few seconds, but felt a lot in Iceland when I lived there. Hey, Jace, you ever been in Asia before? Any parts of Asia? Dip says, I live in Georgia and got hit with 3 and 7 years. Well, and we were in a hilly subdivision. Jeff says, I was swimming in the main street when it happened. Wow. Deb says, oh my God, squirrel need a canoe. Overall, I live in a pretty safe place. Every few years, we have a bad winter. We might get a blizzard. We do. It does get pretty hot. It's not unusual to have over 100 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures here for days in a row. High humidity. Well, Sniper was in an avalanche in Austria. That had to be scary. Lucy says hi to Anne. Hey, Lucy, you going live tomorrow? Jay says they're not visited Asia, but most other continents. Surely you guys had a tornado not long ago, right? I know Lucy did. Sue says, Yogi, hey, Sue. Sue, how are you? Lucy says, tomorrow night at 7 to 11 p.m., free yes or no tarot questions. Awesome. Let us know when you're set up and you want to drop a link. Dip says, glad you're live, squirrel. Definitely. Jason's waving at Sue. Central time. Gotcha. So that would be 6. Right? I believe. For me. Eastern time. Sue's waving at Lucy. Dip says you need a spit to see which way is up or down you're digging towards. Were you climbing, Sniper? Anna says hi to just one Sue. Who gets the wave back from Sue? Long John says wasn't making accusations of Juice to Jace. Just to clear that up. Gotcha. Just thought Juice Jace sounded funny. It does, and that's actually a compliment. Thank you, Lucy. Here's a link to Lucy's live, guys. 25 hours. Get there early. Have your questions ready. Yes or no tarot card questions. And if you don't mind sharing out the link early, get some people showing up. Lucy always draws a big audience, though. She says I was going to get a few distant videos of the Blue Angels. Oh, cool. I will be on the lookout for those soon. It says all good long, no offense taken. Wow, 25K. Well done, Lucy. Oh, hey. Speaking of congrats, hey, Kat. I don't know if Kat's still here or not. She hit 700 subs. Congratulations, and well deserved. Shirley says Nick has been praying the dangerous weather away from us so he doesn't lose his electricity or internet. Hey, Shirley, let Nick know that when I hear of bad weather, or Shirley, if you want to let me know something's coming, I will join in prayer with Nick. We will join and we will help keep that bad weather away. Lisa says that is not an easy achievement. It is not, and you work hard for it. I see how hard you work, Lucy. Wow. Sue says that's great, Lucy. I just got I don't even know how to say that number. That's how big that number is. That 2 million? 800,000? 2,800,000? Lucy says I just hit 6 million views on mine. Wow. We are in the company of greats. I just love that Sue loves what she's doing. And I love what Sue is doing as well. She says, wow, Sue, awesome. Sniper says, Shirley, ever heard of a simple bowl of vinegar? and full intentions. Hey, Abigail. Jay says 2.8 mil. For you? Oh, for Lucy. I think two toy pups told me I hit 1 million not long ago. Abigail's doing amazing. Glad to hear that. Abigail. Shirley says, Sniper, God loves Nick so much. He is just blessed. I'm always happy to hear that he's opening up his heart too. Opening up his heart to God. Abigail says, are you here, Sebastian? Sebastian was here. I don't know if he's still here. It's pretty late over in the UK. Lucy says, adding terror that I'm naturally good at will be good for my channel. And just for everyone, I don't expect to ever charge people. I just let the universe decide what I earn. I appreciate that. Try to do the same thing. I mentioned that before, that I'm truly doing my best to turn things over to God to provide. Trust and surrender has been the message for me over and over and over again. And, of course, Miracles, when it has the characteristics of God's teachers, when they talk about trust. I wrote about this today. It makes you feel like you're losing everything. Even things that you think of just like come into your life, all of a sudden everything feels shaky. The rug could be pulled out from under you any second. It's a very disconcerting feeling. I don't like it, but it's part of the trust. Sometimes it's easier to run back to safety or what appears to be safety. But I go with that beginning of A Course in Miracles that nothing real can be threatened. So if in any way I'm feeling threatened, and I am, threatened with all kinds of stuff, threatened with being alone and lonely, threatened with losing all kinds of stuff. But if nothing real can be threatened, I just need to remember that. Abigail says, I miss you guys. We miss you too, Abigail. Shirley says he's really proud of his baptism certificate, gold frame and all. Awesome. Awesome. Lucy says I get donations and super chat donations. People just want to appreciate my work, which I'm grateful for. I can see that, Lucy. She says rug getting pulled happens many times before you realize it's easier to stand beside the rug. Hey, Mark. The great Gravity Core Fitness is here. Sadoshi Yogi. Mark, how are you? Mark, as I mentioned in the live stream with Jace this morning, thank you so much for yesterday. We had a heavy subject get dropped upon our laps, and everyone just stepped up with so much love. And Mark, you offered such great comfort, giving direction of where to turn. You handled it so perfectly. I just want to say thank you, Mark. 2 waves of gravity. Jace says, hey, Mark. We got some unicorn vibes. And Mark says, my pleasure, Yogi. That's been sort of the subject of what we were talking about tonight, the best way to handle situations like that. And I think you set a very useful and kind example. You know what? I also appreciate the fact that you've shared a bit of your story. That, man, you've been through the battles, coming out on the other end, but it's never a guarantee. Sepa says, for trust in its purest esoteric form is the ultimate permission slip for miracles to unfold. Perfect. I absolutely love that. And we can always ask for a miracle. Oh, Shirley says, Paul really appreciated you stopping by his live too, Mark. In my view, we got two of the top 3 fitness channels right here. Gravity Core Fitness and Jace. And the third is Hutch. As I mentioned before, man, what a huge inspiration for me when Paul announced that he was stepping away from the shorty of a job because it didn't speak to him, didn't speak to his heart, and he was pursuing what he'd love to do. The same thing, anything is possible. Bob, same thing. He wanted to fish. The best way he knew how to fish professionally was live streaming, having a channel. And he's making a go at it. Every once in a while, he'll work part-time job. Everyone's saying hi. Dip says, think we all make miracles in many ways. I would agree. Definitely. Now, in A Course in Miracles, it says that we are all entitled to miracles. And that when miracles don't occur, that is when something has gone wrong. And the only thing that can go wrong is our thinking that we are outside of the miracle mindset. And here, a miracle is simply asking help. Can I see this differently? I would like to perceive this particular issue, this particular problem, this particular trouble in my life. I would like to see it differently. I can't forgive this person, obviously. So we ask for a miracle, a shift in perception. We turn it over to God. We turn it over to the Holy Spirit. We turn it over to Jesus or Krishna or Buddha, the universe, love. So the entirety of Course in Miracles is training ourselves to remember. Ask for a miracle. You think I would remember more often after literally decades, but I don't. I'm better. And I expect to get better still. I hope. Positive energy always. Absolutely, Jace. That's what you bring. Mark says every day is a blessing. It truly is. And like I said, Mark, from sharing your story, sometimes we don't get to that knowledge easily. Some days, if you've been through it, if you've been through that struggle with emotional, with mental health, some days certainly don't feel like a miracle. But when you can get to that, other side, even if you don't always stay there, I certainly don't always stay there. And I have almost every tool in the toolbox. Makes me feel so appreciative, 1, to have those tools, 2, to be able to offer them to other people, and 3, it makes my heart break. For those, it seems like an impossible glimpse. Life will never get better. That even a sliver of positivity, even a sliver of just having a good day, seems so far away. So that's, man, like I said, sometimes I think the best that I can offer, kind place for somebody to stumble across. And even if they never come back, they're here for an afternoon, they're here for a few minutes, if they just had a place where they could sigh. So you know what? Ease my mind just a little bit. And as mentioned all through this live stream, you are the guys that do that. Mark did that yesterday. Jace did that yesterday. All of you guys stepped up to a guy who was in a dark place. Jace says positive energy always succeeds. Amen to that. Mark says, I'm still fighting, but luckily found a positive energy to push me through bodybuilding, running, gymnastics. Fight is never over. We just learned to adopt life as a trial. Well said. That's why I got into ultra running. I was losing everything for sure. Wife, mother, stepchild, my dogs.
I'm still awake at this time.
I see.
This is your fault.
I accept responsibility, but I take no blame.
I'd like to do take you through a little process. And then I want you to think, you know, that cognitive shuffling?
Yep.
I'm going to give you a couple of little pictures. Just want you to rearrange them. Zem, hello, welcome.
Hey, Zem.
So if you just scroll back the chat very slightly, and you'll see the first message that had a star by it. And it was something like positive energy always.
Yep.
If you just repeat that for me.
Positive energy always.
And then what was the second one?
Positive energy always succeeds.
Right. So I said I was going to take you through a process. So if you see all the capital letters? What's the first one?
P?
It's
I
a
see what
word.
you're doing.
Do you know
I see what
something
you're doing.
though? Yeah, but
I
do you
see.
know when you think, do you know, go for the second one. What's the second one say? Capital letters.
E? I see
Positive energy always succeeds.
Uh-huh.
That's P's.
I saw
That's
that
the
coming.
acronym. That's the acronym for P's. They have greater meaning than what we realised, and it didn't click straight away. Obviously, the talk and the love and the kindness and a little bit of tiredness. It came to fruition. P's has got to be our new acronym. It has to be. And do you know what I'm going to make you? I'm going to make you a mug up that's going to have positive energy always and a little P with a smiley face. I think it'll work wonderfully. And then just a yogi doing burpees in his basement underneath.
Maybe we'll do a poll.
Inspiration. You know, he was on about earlier, finding some designs and stuff and maybe getting these things brought to life.
Is that me? Remind me tomorrow afternoon and we'll do a poll and we'll see what people say. I know what people are going to say already. I know I'm going to be outvoted, but I'm going to give it a shot.
So just remember, positive energy always succeeds.
Do you hear Shirley's comment?
Yeah, fresh peas, raw peas.
You know what? I could eat raw peas. I could do that. I could get behind raw peas.
You know, if you've got raw peas, what happens when you put them in your mouth and your teeth come together?
Now, here's the thing. I'm all for my own mushing. I'm a mushing machine. I don't want anything pre-mushed. I don't want someone going to the trouble of mushing my food for me. I was given God-granted mushers.
We have come to a little corner now. So my brain's just automatically clicked and thought.
You're tired, Jason.
Obviously, the vegan side of things means that you have a very strict and controlled diet that fits.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. You have a very strict and controlled diet
I do.
that fits into a nice straight line. So you know your oatmeal.
Yep.
Has that not been pre-mushed?
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Did it start in that form, or has it not been ground or slightly altered?
Nope. Whole oats.
So
I eat whole oats. You can't catch me on this.
Okay, so you know your blueberries that you put into your whole oats.
My what?
Your blueberries, when you have your blueberries.
Unmushed. Whole
But
blueberries.
they've been taken off of the stem, surely.
They've been taken off of the stem. They have not been mushed.
They've changed in form.
Nope.
Are your nuts whole or do they come crushed?
They are whole.
Okay.
I'm a whole food, plant-based vegan. You will not catch me on this. Now, I did show you my pea protein.
You know when you pour the water in,
Uh-huh.
is that in one piece?
The water?
Yeah.
Water is always in one piece.
Are you sure?
Positive. You're not going to catch me on this.
All right then. Yeah, I'm tired. Wait till I've had a sleep. Right, I'm going to
Alright.
manifest that. I'm going to work on this one tonight. I'm going to sleep about this one.
Plant that seed.
No problem at all. I'm sorry, 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Much love, much kindness. Brother, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for a great day, by the way.
Been an awesome day. It has been a great day. Thank you too. And thank you everybody in the chat. As Eric always says, without every single person, it wouldn't be the same energy. Everybody has their little part to play. Love you all. Good night.
Good night, Jace. I'm going to say good night to everyone, too. I'm going to head to bed. Thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. I enjoyed tonight. Hey, Adam. Get away from Adam. Appreciate you being here, my friend. You guys do wonders for me. I don't know if you actually know that or appreciate that about yourselves. What you do for me. That, man, I just don't know right now where I would be without you. Positive energy always keys. I'm thinking about it, Jace. I'm thinking about it. There might be a message in there for me. My resistance to peace. I'm not going to eat them, but maybe I will work through my resistance. You too, Shirley. Thank you so much. Sweet dreams. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bottom of my heart, guys. I don't know. It's a good time to sign off because I'm feeling kind of emotional. Thanks, guys. I love you.